God, I feel like a disaster. Can someone else do this?
You want me to do it?
No, I can do it. I hate everything. Welcome back to episode 2 of the 23 BRZ Build. We have it here at the shop, and we finally have car parts. Wisconsin Tom is having a meltdown and is ready to put parts on his car. All right, so in order to start picking parts for the car, I had a couple of parts already sitting. I had a couple of ideas from my experience with motorsports, and I also then launched into doing some research. So to start with, I had a set of tires. Right here, Bridgestone Potenza RE71 RS, 245 17s. Since I already had those, I want to use them, and I really like this tire a lot. But it did present a couple of issues with fitment stuff, which we'll get to. Then I knew I wanted to do brakes, I wanted to do wheels and tires, and I wanted to get a little bit of camber before I drive the car on track for the first time. So knowing that and already having these tires sitting, I had to start doing some research to figure out what parts I needed. And I came up with this parts list. So we're going with wheels and tires. I've got 17 by 9 Koenigs coming. They're not here yet. My Bridgestone RE71 RS tires. For brakes, I've got Hawk sending me a set of ER1 brake pads and full rotors for all 4 corners of the car. Those are also not here yet. In the front, from Varus Engineering, we're gonna do these camber plates. It should be good for about 3 degrees of camber in the front. I need some control arms for the rear, so I got these Cusco upper control arms to get some camber out of the back. Then to make the tires fit, I need some spacers in the front, 10 mil spacers. I've got extended lugs. Nope, extended studs, Jesus. And then obviously a full set of lug nuts to make those work. And then 2 more recommendations that I got from different places over my research. The first one was because I was already kind of looking at Varus Engineering, and I got introduced and recommended to them by a couple of different people. I have this brake master cylinder brace. Whoop, there we go. So this should improve the feel of the brake pedal just a little bit. And my last bit is in this big box down here. All right, so in here we have our Jackson Racing track oil cooler kit, which is definitely the most intimidating piece that I have to install to start with. But my understanding from just kind of asking people who've had both the first generation and second generation cars is that they need a little bit of help with cooling on the track for the oil system. What do you even call it? Oiling?
Engine oil.
Engine oil. So my friends at Jackson Racing sent me one of these to throw in the car. So hopefully I don't explode it up the first time I drive it on track. So that's our first round of parts that are going on there, hopefully, by Barber in just over a month. Oh, and our last thing, we're gonna throw this, no, I'm just kidding, we're not. But for today, my goal is to get I'm gonna start easy with the master cylinder brace, and then the oil cooler kit. I'm gonna do everything under the hood first, since I'm still waiting on, oh, and there's some, I forgot about the lowering springs, because they're not here yet either. I'm also gonna do some lowering springs, because I do not want the car as stock ride height. I think it looks dumb. So that's literally the only reason I'm doing that. So for today, or for this video, I guess, I'm doing everything under the hood, and then for the next video will be everything suspension related. All right, so Varus Engineering, they actually have kind of install videos of all these parts on their YouTube channel, which is very helpful. And Andy bet that they would be, what was your bet for how long it'll take me to do this? Just the brake part.
10 minutes tops.
From right now?
15 minutes adding video time.
All right, wish me luck. Dang it. How are you supposed to do this with adult hands? Do you think it goes underneath that bracket or on top of that bracket?
I would have to guess underneath. Until you drop a bolt, maybe spend the next half hour looking for it.
How would you manifest that into the universe?
Everyone that works on cars experiences that at least like once.
Oh, I think I got it. You mean like that? Oh no! Of course it didn't go all the way through. Oh, there's no way it was that easy. Oh, it was that easy. Oh, thank God. I don't understand how you're supposed to do this with adult hands. Oh, I'm doing it. Hey, look at that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I got myself in a precarious situation. Oh, shit. Okay. Don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. Doing it! This one's worse. No, it's not. Okay. Got it. Okay. Oh, there it is. Boom. So now we go up. Ah! What now? I just have these giant, huge man hands, and everyone wants me to work on cars that are for children. Oh. No way, I got it. I think I did it. I think I'm done. All right, you were just watching me fumble with putting that little screw through that little hole. Oh my God. Master cylinder brace, I believe, is installed. I guess we'll find out if it flies off when I get out on the street. I forgot, for everything in this series, I think I'm gonna do like my confidence level going in, like on a scale of 10. So for the master cylinder brace, I was at like a 7 to 8 out of 10. And like, I don't even need any help, which I didn't need any help. I needed a little bit of help. I watched the video. Okay, so the next thing is the oil cooler. That one I'm like a 2. I'm like a 1 or a 2. I'm gonna need a lot of help, I think. Good part is, it comes with a handbook right there. So I guess I don't really have any excuse. I pre-read this handbook a little bit. I think it assumes a level of knowledge that I do not have. So for example, the third instruction, it says you will either need a small screwdriver and patience.
I'm out.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to get the car like kind of prepped to put the, I don't actually know what the whole process of putting this air oil cooler thing in is, but I've got the bumper off and I'm just trying to follow this step by step. Next is taking the airbox off. Is this the mass airflow sensor? You want to play 20 questions?
Yeah, beginner's luck, I think.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Cool. It says to take the airbox off, so I guess. Little victories. I don't know at what point the installation begins and the disassembly stops, but I feel like I've just been unassembling this car for like an hour and a half. What time is it?
4:50.
Yeah, it's been like an hour and a half. If I can get it to the point that I can start installing these brackets, that seems like a good stopping point. All right, I'm reading instructions, but I don't know what I'm doing, and Andy hates instructions, but knows exactly what he's doing.
Maybe
so
don't hate instructions.
we're not sure.
This is a very basic oil cooler, thermostat controlled oil cooler.
You're not allowed to do anything. I'm supposed to do all the work.
Okay, I'm not going to actually assemble this. I'm just going to show you how it actually gets assembled. But you have this spacer here. This thing goes on top of here. This goes in and threads in where the factory oil filter would.
It looks like you're doing it.
I'm going to pull it back off. It goes like that. All these are loose, so all these will need to get tightened. But it'll basically go like that. Oil filter on top. This goes to your front mount.
It's starting to make sense. Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull all this back off.
Dude, these instructions do not make any sense to me. What's a 10-an?
10-an. This is this kind of fitting. It's a flared little fitting that the hoses will connect to.
Okay. All right. I think I mean, you showed me, so it's cheating, but I'm calling it for today. Coming back tomorrow, but we have the brake master cylinder brace done. You bet 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, what was it?
It was like 30. It's pretty bad. Now we're doing our Jackson Racing oil cooler. There. That's as far as we've gotten. I actually couldn't tell you what these are called, but I'm starting to get it. I genuinely have no idea. I'm in the sweet spot where this doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I need instructions. So I don't know, maybe I'll be able to rewrite another install version of like noob install for this type of stuff for them. But yeah, finish tomorrow. All right, we are back to finish up the install on hopefully our oil cooler, and then just wait for suspension parts. Andy budgeted me 4 to 5 hours, and I have a confidence level of 2 to complete this on my own. So I give myself until tomorrow night to actually have this done. But as it sits, we have everything's disassembled. I believe this is the actual oil cooler.
This is a very basic thermostat, oil cooler.
And then today, I believe, from my understanding, is running lines and running the, it's probably got a better term, but looks like a radiator to me. I think probably goes down here somewhere. I don't really know. I'm gonna find out when I'm done. Guess what? This says to have someone help me, and I didn't need help.
Nice.
It says have someone hold this, and I did it all by myself.
Yeah.
And your oil cooler bracket is now mounted. Look at me go. I can't be stopped. Okay, I have the oil cooler assembled. I had my first close call. I had to put installing the hoses into the cooler itself. Whoop. Here, I had no idea how much force this would take, and I just started to force it with the wrenches, and it was starting to cross thread. So luckily I thought to ask, and Andy came and helped for a second. But I have it all together, and I think it's ready to go in the car. Okay, I think I'm installed. Got this down. Before I said it was going in there, it's not. It's down in here. Here we go. Lines run through the headlight area up to the adapter, and I'm on reinstallation, I think. The only thing is if I don't have the fitment right for the headlight when it goes back in. All right, I'm ready for, I think I got everything back together. I'm ready to start it up, and the instruction doesn't say this, but he knows stuff, so we're gonna trust him. You're gonna what? You're gonna prime it?
We're just gonna crank the engine over without letting it actually fire, and that's gonna prime oil through the oil cooler and stuff. So we're not starting it up and it actually drops oil pressure because it's gotta wait to fill this oil cooler. So we're just gonna crank it over for like 15 seconds, and yeah.
Yeah. All right, we did the oil pressure check, and now we're ready to start it. Wait for arms flailing. Okay, I guess that seems good. I think that means I did it. It is 4:15. It's been about 3.5 hours. Now the other 3 hours of the day are going to be putting the bumper back on. That's pretty satisfying. Not too bad. All right, it's 5:30. We're done. All back together. Oil cooler installed. I feel pretty good. I guess I was probably not supposed to be very hard. It had a full instruction manual and everything, but I mean, that was definitely above my reading level before today, and now I feel like I understand a little bit better, so that's good. Everything else is suspension based. I'm gonna try to do that all at once, maybe one weekend before Barber, but I'm still waiting on some stuff to actually make that happen. So for now, I'm just gonna clean the car up a little bit. I think the really fun stuff happens next, because it's gonna like look a little lower. In my mind, that's gonna look a little faster. And then it's not that long before we go to Barber. It's only like 4 weeks. So, hey, thanks for watching me work on cars.
All right, we are at the end of this stage with the FRS. I'm gonna get it loaded up on the trailer to get over to my cousin's for some headers.